Hi everyone, Suren Dale here, CEO of Magia Solutions. As Oracle Intelligent Advisor enters its fourth decade as a product and is still a strong differentiator for Oracle, I'd like to take you on a tour of the genesis of this product, which continually gains strength in the global market. I was one of the people who originally created the product, and today Magia has the best intelligent advisor capability in Australia, potentially the world. So let's start at the beginning, in the 1990s. The company we created was called Softlaw Corporation, and it commercialised research from the Australian National University. The product was Statute Expert, essentially a legal expert system. Our mission was to improve outcomes for citizens, particularly social welfare recipients. Because the software understood grammar, explanations could be in natural language, fully personalised. So for example, we could generate a report that said, you qualify for an age pension and here's why. The key problem we were solving here was to absorb the complexity of government regulation so that citizens and government staff could focus on customer interaction. Think of it like a super advanced spreadsheet, crunching all the rules in the background so an end user could work with a simple set of input questions to arrive at a conclusion. So we had the first 10 years in what I would call splendid isolation, working with government customers in Australia, such as the Departments of Social Security, Veterans Affairs and Defence, and the New South Wales government. In the next decade, we started taking the software to the world, first in the UK, and from there into Europe, in particular Scandinavia and the Benelux countries. Finally into the US, and an initial foray into Singapore. At this point, it was also becoming apparent that the automation of decisions based on rules could be used in multiple industries. In fact, if you can solve social welfare, then insurance and banking were relatively simple in comparison. We rebranded at this time to Ruleburst for the bulk of the period because our end customers got confused by the Softlaw name, thinking that we were a legal publisher. That brings us to the 2010s. And at the end of the 2000s, we reached a point where we would need significant capital raising to properly go global. Fortunately, we started working with Oracle around this time, and I'll be forever grateful to Larry, Safra, and Charles Phillips for delivering on their promise to buy our company and take the software global. We rebranded to Oracle Policy Automation at the time, or OPA, which a lot of people still know the product as. It was really lovely being part of a global multinational who continued to invest in the product in all sorts of ways, as well as, of course, having access to Oracle's formidable global sales channel. So we went global. You can use any language for rule authoring, any language for end users, much stronger integration through web services, native Oracle adapters, and then in the latter part of the 2010s, cloud deployment through Oracle CX Cloud. We also fully went into multiple industries. So obviously the government heartland was still very strong, and I'm very proud of a lot of the deployments that Oracle has done around the world, particularly in the social welfare space. So for example, many of the states in the US implemented and delivered Obamacare using OPA, or the French government, which completely transformed its social welfare system on the back of OPA. But equally, we started to have banking customers, insurance customers, high-tech customers, anywhere where there's complexity in the rules that you need to deliver a service. And that brings us to today, in the 2020s. Oracle's just rebranded to Intelligent Advisor. Gartner, you can see here, recognises that it's a real strength, particularly of Oracle's CX Cloud. You can see the links here to some additional information. They're all Oracle links to general information, documentation, news, discussion and updates. It's really nice that there's a global community around the product now after the decades of it being in use. So from the beginning, we always knew that the software was a bit ahead of the curve, and I believe that its time to shine has really come. We're coming into a decade where the experience economy is king. Customers and citizens make their own choices about where to interact. In this world, there are three things that Intelligent Advisor is uniquely placed to meet. It helps to deliver simple, accurate, and personalised experience to the end user, and that's the sort of experience people demand. First one, being able to have personalised advice. Because the software has natural language in it, and it understands the grammar, you can very easily tune it so that it works in the second person. And the second person works really well for self-service and customer interaction, whether that's on a mobile device, through a website, or really omni-channel. And we can do all of that grammatically accurately because of that natural language that underpins it. And also the rules engine knows everything about you from the interaction you've had in the cloud. So you can get advice about your loan, about your entitlement, about whatever it is that you're trying to solve as an individual at that point in time. The second key thing is simplicity. And at the heart of simplicity is absorbing complexity. The underlying rules engine does that. So you can have a very sophisticated set of rules about what the outcome should be with a very simple point of interaction for the end user. And it takes a lot of sophistication to be able to do that, to be able to take something quite complex, but then for an end user, make it really simple. And the final thing is accuracy. And again, the thing that underpins the accuracy is that the people with the knowledge can write the rules themselves, or if not, at least be heavily involved in ensuring they're correct. So what enables that is the natural language engine. So the rule authors and those checking the rules can work in English, French, Arabic, whichever language you need. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to engage your customers with simple, personalized and accurate advice using Oracle Intelligent Advisor, please come and talk to us. Outside Oracle itself, Magia is the best credentialed organisation in Australia, potentially the world, to help you deliver a 21st century experience for your customers and citizens.